Hi everybody. Happy February. Happy eclipse too. That's really exciting. So in case you haven't heard, I am coming to LA and Oakland in April. If you want more information on that, go to the link below, thespiritualsiren.com/events. I will be dropping the tickets and all the details for in-person readings and the events on February 1st. If you fill out that form on the events page, you will get early access to tickets, okay? I will not be doing the love readings for paid subscription. One, because no one said anything about it. And two, basically, if y'all are okay with not getting them every month, then I don't mind putting them out there for the free 99. Also, from now, when you're seeing this video, till Valentine's Day, the end of Valentine's Day, February 14th, if you donate any amount of money to my channel, which the link is below and it's on the homepage of my website. If you donate anything, $1 and upwards, I will pull an oracle card for you from the Abraham Hicks deck. Okay, I will send it to the email in your PayPal. Okay, unless you put a different one in the notes. That card does not come with a description because they have the description on them. Okay. But that's a thank you from me to you for all of you that have subscribed to my channel and support me, and it'll help the events that I'm doing out in LA and Oakland, and to start getting ready for me to do more events because I have more cooking. All right, as always, to be updated with me on the regular, on like the everyday basis, follow me on Instagram and Twitter _spiritual_siren, and I started to share my plant-based food on Instagram and Twitter. So if you're interested in that, that's definitely where to start, though it will come to YouTube at some point. But anyways, love you guys. Peace. Alright, Sagittarius. So as I was shuffling your cards, I started to get this sensation that like my lip was quivering. Like my bottom lip. Ooh, there's 2 cards here. So the time has come where indecision is no longer an option, especially as it relates to moving away from a mentality, moving away from a place, because we have the Six of Swords and the 8 of Cups. Okay, so I feel like you really relaxed, right? I was getting that feeling earlier when I was shuffling as well. There's a sense of ease that has washed over you probably since Saturn left, and you're like, wow, I really don't have to be depressed anymore. And you realize that stagnancy or the pressure that comes with Saturn is not there anymore. So you are free to move. Okay, physically, mentally, emotionally, you are free to move. And it is essential that you follow your heart and you follow your instincts. I'm feeling this is like animal instincts. Okay, when I was getting that like quivering lip feeling, it was like something to the tip of your tongue and you're a little afraid to say it. So you're kind of going to need to get coaxed to say it. Because you know it's not going to be super received like well. It's not a bad message, but it's not a super lovely message either. And these add to 8. This is an 8 and this is an 8. So 888 is a focus here, and plus temperance is what? 14. No, that's 5. Okay. But you do have your card here. So I really feel like you're leaving behind an old way of identifying with yourself, as well as leaving behind this idea that moderation is always what's best. I feel like it's finally time to dive in with both feet, if you will, potentially as it relates to a financial opportunity, your family, moving away from your family, not having a family. Like there's something that you need to really face head on that you've kind of put on hold, and it makes you nervous. Again, like I said, this 9 of Swords energy is definitely a quivering lip. If you have emotional baggage from your own personal family that has made you not ever want your own family, I feel like that there's time to unpack that this month, Sagittarius. because you're turning your back on a lot, whether you like it or not. I don't think it's really up to you. Things are changing, and you've changed, and you just can't go back to the old you. And you don't need to feel bad about that, but you will continue to feel guilty if you don't start owning yourself, okay? All right, Sagittarius. So, in some regard, you've been doing things halfway. Not because your spirit's not all in it, not because, you know, you don't want to be invested. There's just been this like 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of energy, because freedom reigns supreme for you. So there's always had to be this back door, right? A back exit, a way out. And I think you're realizing now that though freedom is important in relationships of all types, doesn't matter what your sign is, we should all feel free in our relationships. We should all feel that, you know, we are not being suffocated, that we can move freely and live and love freely, not in a disrespectful manner, but in a way that our relationship allows. But all right, let me try to get this out right. So there's this feeling here. Definitely marriage has been something that you have sworn off or felt you needed to severely compromise yourself for. And I think you're realizing that it's not that. It's not as bad as you thought. Or if not marriage, just committed relationships in general. I think you're realizing it's a lot worse to like start dating or start involving yourself with somebody and get to the beginning steps, like, oh, you know, I care about you, but don't get too crazy. Like, we're not gonna be, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna be your boyfriend, I'm not gonna be your girlfriend, or we're never gonna get engaged, I don't wanna be married. Like, there's that kind of thing. It's like you go 2 or 3 steps into something and then you back right out. And it's like as soon as someone starts to get serious, you don't want to do it anymore. And I know you have your reasons for being that way, but I think you're finally realizing that that has left you more lonely than it has not. Because when you only half invest with people, even if they're around you all the time, that there's a certain loneliness. So with the Empress and the Emperor both being in this reading, I feel that you're starting to fuse your divine masculine and divine feminine within your own being in a way that you have previously not. And it's making you realize that healthy relationships are not codependent, and freedom is always available in any kind of relationship without having an exit plan that another person didn't agree to. Because technically, we always naturally have an exit plan because we can leave. You know what I mean? We always have the right to leave. However, you wanted one that was more guaranteed, where it was like, well, we were never together, or, you know, I never committed to this position, or whatever. This is feeling a little bit more romantic than it is otherwise. The Two of Swords is your overall energy this month. Okay, so there has been this focus on contemplation, on trying not to make a decision, trying to be indifferent, and just go about your own business and not really tend to anything. And you really can't do that anymore. Anything that you were doing halfway, you no longer can get away with that. You need to do it all. You need to do it all full steam ahead, or not at all. That is the overall very, very, very strong message here. You need to give something your all, or you need to remove yourself for your benefit and other people's benefit, whether this is work relationships, family relationships, love relationships. It's not fair to anybody if you're only partially invested, because no one, including you, deserves half of a person. And that's not to say, again, that you're going to lose yourself to another person. It's just that anything that you only put a small portion of your energy in can only return so much. You know what I mean? Because your investment was small. Small investments yield small returns. So there needs to be an awareness of really what you're gambling with. And in terms of transitioning, I know this is uncomfortable for you, But it's just time. You know, Saturn left your sign, and that was your maturity check. And now it's time to walk the path that Saturn paved for you. What you're being asked to release, we have the Two of Pentacles with the rune Fertility and the Fool. So, one, you can't play the fool about the options that you have anymore. Okay? You can't, and I feel like, again, even though technically we always have the option of out, or to change things or to start again or whatever, I feel like you can't continue to juggle life or keep things up in the air. And I know that you gain a lot of pride, I guess, out of packing light and not really having a lot of emotional investments or not having a lot of physical investments in things or people or whatever, that you can easily up and move if you need to, if it suits you. But that chaos, like, again, only keeping yourself partially invested in things is also why you have a hard time feeling stable. You know, you reap what you sow, Sagittarius. And this isn't like to say that you're, you know, that you're the only one that's guilty of this or whatever. This is just the energy that I'm getting here. Because there's a fear of really investing yourself. Because you just can't stay at the beginning stages of life and of relationships and of commitments forever, you know? Because how are you going to grow? So the more you try to be indecisive, the more chance that Spirit is going to make the decision for you. And nobody likes that because we really have no control then. You know what I mean? If you want freedom, if you try to gain your control through freedom, then I highly suggest that you decide where you're in and where you're out. Where you're what you love enough to put your time in. Also, love yourself and other people enough to be 100% honest. And don't say, well, if I'm honest, they're not going to be happy about what I have to say. Well, then that's their problem. But who's unhappy when you're faking the funk? Definitely not you. And definitely not them when they find out that you were fronting. Okay? The door that's not open that was once closed. We have the Knight of Cups with the rune Love, clarified by the Empress. So, again, there's a focus on love here, but more so, not only just romantic love, but more so allowing love to flow into your life and allowing you to be receptive to the abundant energy that is love. Because obviously, you're innately a masculine energy, and there's nothing wrong with that, but masculine energy goes out and conquers and seizes and acts on everything. And there's a hard time to sit still and just be open to something. And that's really what Spirit is asking of you. They're asking you to uncross your arms and to look at the truth of the situation and to look at the fact that there are so many avenues you could take that would resonate with your heart and that would make you feel good and make you feel secure and make you feel happy and emotionally present. But if you are afraid of your attraction point, if you are afraid that if you stand still and allow things to come to you that you're going to be disappointed, then that says that you are afraid to reap what you've sown. That means that you're afraid that you're not worthy of something that can match you. Because if you truly believe that we attract that which we are, then why wouldn't you draw in partners that value freedom and are not codependent and thrive in independent interdependency? You know what I mean? Like two independent people that have an understanding, you know? So it's really time to get in touch with your divine feminine. Any mommy issues you have, you know what I mean? We all have parental issues. Any issues you've had with your mother, again, regardless of your sex. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. We both have trauma from both of our parents. It doesn't matter. And that's definitely true if your parent wasn't around. You know, to think that, oh, I don't have trauma because I didn't have a mom or a father or whatever is definitely not the case. Okay, so it's time to let love flow into your life and for you to feel feel confident in what style of love is going to flow to you. Your energy as it relates to all of this, in your head, we have the Hanged Man. In your heart, we have the Five of Pentacles with the rune Journey. And in your foundation, we have the Nine of Cups. Now, the Nine of Cups for me in this regard is saying you may be content in your solidarity. You may be content in, you know, I don't want to say competent. That's not the word that I want to use, but it's like, oh, this is good enough. I'm good. I'm comfortable. This is what I want, right? That's why you're in the position that you're in. However, in your heart with the Five of Pentacles in the rune Journey, it's saying like, I think you're afraid that no one can keep up with your lifestyle. I think that you're afraid that no one will be able to hack it, you know, like hack it on this path that you have chosen. And you'd rather do the most to make sure you're alone than finally open up and be left and have to walk the journey alone for real. Not only alone, but like heartbroken. Okay? With the Hanged Man in your head, there's a need to really reframe your beliefs around relationships, your beliefs around loneliness, and your beliefs surrounding why you'd rather choose the lone wolf mentality over letting people in, and why you would lose your independence by allowing people close to you, especially the people that love you, especially romantically. I feel like this has a strong romantic vibe here. Okay? Because technically, you know, we're all in this life alone, but all together, you know, all that kind of jazz. But I think things are at a halt. I don't think you're going to really see any progress in your life until you make this shift to one side or the other. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you have gotten exactly what you asked for. But the 9 is the 9, you know what I mean? The 10 comes next. The 10 is something that is so good and so sweet that you want to share it. So if life was so fantastic, Sagittarius, why don't you want to share it with somebody? And are you still afraid that you're going to be left alone? Your opposite side, Gemini, got a message about loneliness as well. And I'm pretty sure, did Virgo too? Maybe it's a square. Maybe it's a mutable square thing. Okay. I hope that makes sense. I'm being a little bit more brief with you guys than other signs. I feel like that's the best way to get messages across to you guys. Spirit's advice for you this month. We have the Two of Wands with the rune Standstill, clarified by the Three of Wands with the rune Success. So I feel like your vision, just like the Hanged Man is saying, your vision is on hold. Your vision of the future is on hold because you can't make any progress if you don't believe in something bigger. Like, you want to move ahead and you want to be successful and you want to successfully advance your life and go into the next phase of things. However, with Standstill and the Two of Wands, I really feel like there's a need to go back to the drawing board because I think you're missing part of the picture. You lost part of the panorama. Or, well, it's like when you're on the iPhone in the pano mode and you move too fast and then you look at the picture and it's got like all these staggering lines and all that stuff. Like, you're missing some of the details and you need to go back to the drawing board. Okay? This is a root issue. This is something that, like, I feel like has definitely been emulated by your parents in some capacity. Yeah, because then we have the Three of Crystals. With the Akashic Records, this goes back to the ancient truth of your soul. And then we have the Ten of Crystals. This goes back to your ancestral lineage, okay? There's something here that you feel like it's not safe to build a life with other people. That counting on people is somehow detrimental to your safety, to your emotional well-being, to your physical well-being, okay? And this also could trickle into, like I said, business and friendships as well, but I'm just talking about it in a more romantic sense because that seems to be the stronger message. Okay, with the Akashic Records here, it's really imperative that you do some type of soul searching or meditation. You can even do Akashic Records meditation and really ask yourself, where do I build on my own that would get done a lot faster if I built with other people? How was the image of family shown to me in childhood? What did I not like about that? Where did I choose to rebel against that? Okay? Because Jupiter's coming home to you guys later in this year, you know, October, November. It's coming home. So you gotta sharpen the view now. Okay? What is holding you back from being successful? And how successful have you been trying to do everything by yourself? Okay? And the most likely outcome walking into March, we have the Queen of Pentacles with the rune Marriage and the Emperor. So I think you're realizing by the end of the month that I don't think this Queen of Pentacles is somebody else. I think this is you. It could be somebody else, but I think you're realizing that you do have the power to create commitments, and that when you sow the seed and don't, again, allow seeds to be sown for you, that you get respectfully a certain amount of control. You lead what is grown, right? Because the Queen of Pentacles is able to bring to life whatever she wants. She has a green thumb. Okay? So if you picture marriage a certain way, if you picture relationships a certain way, if you picture business commitments a certain way, that means that you have the power to make that happen. Okay? So there really is nothing left to fear. You are in control of your life. Nobody else is. So don't get caught up in what you've been told or what you've been shown or even what you've lived up until this very moment. Okay? Because love moves mountains. And when you love yourself and trust in your source and trust that you would never attract something that would take away what matters most to you, which is freedom. All is well. I'm gonna give y'all both of those. Number 1. No matter how old I am, I can always learn more, and I do so with confidence. I'm willing to learn. The more I learn, the more I grow. Yes, you can teach old dogs new tricks. It is never too late. I am learning to be more creative every day. I direct my creative talents towards music, art, dance, writing, anything that gives me pleasure. Like I told Leo, it's really important for you to enjoy life now. Okay? Because the 5 of Pentacles with your heart, in your heart space with the journey rune here, it's also a reminder that suffering is not love. And suffering is not why we came to this planet. And if you still have beliefs surrounding that, I really, really, really suggest that you unpack them. Because that is not why we were put here, okay? Sagittarius, I hope that makes sense to you. I love you guys so much, and I will be back soon. Peace.